Hey guys, well, we're back reloading here. Didn't have quite perfect luck at the range with the 43 the other day, but I'm hopefully thinking that maybe this stuff right here, and I use a lot of it, 2400, 40, in my 4570, it works perfect. Small dose, big bang, drives about a 400 grain bullet out of the 4570 at about the 1500 feet per second mark, which is more than adequate to flatten a deer, moose, or any other critter that scurries along through the woods. Um, what what I'm doing here today is I'm loading some 43 Mauser shells. Now I loaded a couple already, and they're with the flat nose bullet, 395 grainer CBS bullet on Dominion brass. And I was at the range the other day and I had a problem with primers, and I've located the batch that was bad. And the gentleman I purchased them from is actually going to refund me with a new batch of primers at no cost. He told me just keep them, and whatever fires, and you just get a new batch. So I was pretty happy with that. I showed him the video of shooting at the range, and he was just like, "Wow, you said you had a bad day." I said, "Yeah, it's because of your primers." And I said, "Not blaming you, but I said your supplier. You should notify them that batch." So I gave him the number off the back of the box, and he's notified his supplier, and he discarded of them, and is not going to sell them. So let's get back to reloading here. Basically, what I'm doing, just using my, if I'll flip these around here, as you can see here, just my dipper and half a Tim Hortons cup full of 2400, and my little Frankfurt Arsenal scale, and here's my Dacron filler. Stuff that inside the cartridge to hold the powder against the primer, and it just goes easy after that. So I've already got one case. Yep, 21.5 grains is the charge I chose, and this is Dominion real. This is actual 43 Mauser brass, and some Winchester Magnum primers I'm using. Now, with the pistol powder as such, I prefer to use a hotter primer because of the finer granulation of the powder. 2400 is very versatile. People don't actually believe how many things you can use it in. It would reduce loads. It works great. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab, I got my Cano bullets here. And I'm just going to grab a couple bullets right here. And it is the RCBS bullet with the deep grease grooves. And as usual, without my press, I don't have a neck sizer. So these have been fire formed, and what I did is I took these and I just inserted them slightly. This is a 308 RCBS die I had spare. I just insert the case. I'll just show you with one here. Just take the case and drive it in, and just give it a little tap. Just give a little. I got a little piece of block of wood here, and I just give it a little tap, and it just puts a little tension on the neck. And so when I seat that bullet in there, it's enough to hold it in, because when I'm going to be shooting these at the shoot, we're only permitted one bullet in the chamber at one time, so I'm not going to be needing a crimped bullet to go into the tube. I'm only going to be firing a single shot, so there shouldn't be any issues there. Neck tension just has to be very minimal. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my bullet, and as I show you here, I'm just going to run it through my SPG lube. And for those of you who are wondering, I just got my, this is black powder cartridge lube by SPG. Great stuff. I believe in it. It works fine. So now that I have my grease grooves filled, what I'm going to do is just, I'll tear a little twisted end off my Teflon tape here. I'm going to take the bullet. I'm going to go as such. I'm going to wrap it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You'll hear me say that a lot. Just has to get on there, and as you can see, it kind of puts it holds the lube into the grease grooves. So I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do too. Just give this a few wraps, and what this is doing, that Teflon tape does give some lubrication. It also I think it may provide a better seal against the bore. Now I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do here. Not only do I have lube inside the grease, the grease grooves, in between the tape and the grease grooves, I'm actually going to put some on the outside. And I'm going to show you why. Because the grease grooves technically are still exposed, and they will hold some. So now I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to put my Dacron in here. Just use this to stuff it in there. And might use a little bit more. Maybe just tear a little smidge off. And you don't need a whole pile of it, just enough to hold the powder. Being it's such a small amount, hold it against the primer to get good ignition so you don't get no hang fires. So now we have our Dacron in there, we have our powder in there. Take my bullet, I'm just going to seat it in the casing like that. Now there it is. I'm going to show you something. And I've got bad hands. I've got carpal tunnel in both my hands. I can go like this. 1 grease groove. 2 grease grooves. I have a loaded cartridge. Now what I do is I just take a rag, and any excess lube I just wipe it off. Now you do see a little smidge of the Teflon tape. I'll just peel it right off. And it just doesn't hinder anything here. Comes off pretty darn slick, and there you go. Just going to set that aside. So now I have a perfectly loaded, can't hear no powder shaking, 43 Mauser cartridge ready for my shoot on Sunday. And that's how I'm going to load that whole box. We're going to be shooting 10 rounds at 100 yards, 5 offhand, 5 off the bench. And we're also shooting a pistol round. Being I don't own a pistol, I do have a license, but I don't own one. A friend of mine is going to loan me his 22 just to plink, because we only shoot from 25 meters. So just something easy on my hands, because like I said, I have carpal tunnel in both my hands, and it's inoperable. I can't get it operated on. I've got too many other things wrong in there. So if you miss, if you want me to show you another one here, here's my case. It's already been charged 21.5 grains of 2400. I'm going to take my Dacron. I'm just going to stuff it in here, and all this is a spare mandrel I had out of an old set of SKS dies. And I also use it to manually decap because I don't have my press here. I'm just sitting in my bedroom. So I'm going to stuff it in there, get it in there against your primer, make sure that powder's packed against there nice and tight, get a good ignition. Bullet. I'm going to fill the grease grooves here. Teflon tape. A couple of wraps. A few. And here's your bullet. 1, 2. Now after I'm done, I'm going to seat them. I might seat them in here to give them a little pinch and tight. So, that's it in a nutshell.